Okay, sorry about that. And then 9% compounded quarterly. Compounded quarterly, so it's 1/4. Okay, how much will they have in the sinking fund when it's time to replace the truck replace the 5-year-old truck, which means to say to that point. Okay, so if we take that into account, this is question 2.2.3. Okay, most of you put 250 here, 250 there, and 250 here. Okay, that was your mistake. It says 2 years after they bought the first time. That was the main mistake that was made in this question. For those of you who got some marks in this question here. Alright, so what we do is we're going to consider that 250,000 rand. It must first be for 1 year at that interest rate, and then the interest rate change. So A total is going to be 250,000 into 1 plus 8%, so 0.08 over 12 to the exponent 12 times, and that is for 1 year, into 1 plus. The interest rate then changed to 9%, so 0.09 over 4 to the exponent 4 times, and that is for 2 years plus. So they have considered the first 250,000. Second 250,000 to the end is going to be 250,000 rand into 1 plus 0.09 over 4 to the exponent 4 times 2 years. Alright, then that to the end. So it's plus 250,000 rand into 1 plus 0.09 over 4 to the exponent 4 times 1. Okay, and that's how I work out my E total. Now, if you want to apply that other method, you could have worked out 250,000 rand for 1 year first. You take that answer and then you add 250,000 rand. Okay? That becomes the principal of your next year. At 9% per annum compounded quarterly. Once you have done that calculation, you add again 250,000, which is the third one. And then you add the interest, you work out the interest for another year. Okay? And let's put that in the calculator. It's going to be fairly large. What you should note here, if you're going with this method, that is being repeated all the time. 3 times at least. Can you see that, people? So what I do is, I enter that in the calculator. I've shown you something like this already. There's 1 plus 0.09 over 4. So that's the bracket that is highlighted in black. So I'm going to do 250,000 into 1 plus 0.08 over 12 to the exponent 12 times 1, which is 12, times the answer, which is that in black, to the exponent 4 times 2, plus 250,000 rand, 250,000, answer to the exponent 8, plus 250,000, answer to the exponent 4. You could have, I'm sure, no, not. Okay, so that gives me, is that correct? 895,478.99. Okay, so it's 879. Okay. Then the question says in 2.2.4, they sell the old truck for its book value. So what's the book value of the old truck? 376,000. This is right here. 376,390 rand and 75 cents. Okay. So I need that amount. I'm just going to pull it down here. They sell the old truck for its book value. That's the book value of the old truck. And use this money plus the sinking fund. That is what is in the sinking fund. Can you see that? Will they have enough money to buy the truck? Show all calculations to support your answer. So here you can't just say yes. You have enough money, or you can't just say no, you expect them. Okay, you must support your answer by a suitable calculation. Okay, so if you look at 2.4, the sinking fund. So what they have, the funds they have, funds as it stands, is going to be 895,479 plus 376,390 rand and 75 cents. That is what they have. Not so. So it's going to be that answer plus 376,390 rand and 25 cents. 75 cents. That gives me 1,271,869.75. Okay. So that's the funds they have. How much is the new truck? The new truck? Some amount? You see, this is what the cost of a new truck would have been. 1,262,297 rand. That's the amount they need. Not so? Let's go here, let's see. So if you subtract this, so if I subtract those two answers, minus 126,2297. Okay. That is 1,271,869.97 minus 1,262,297. That means to say they will have a shortfall or surplus? They will have a surplus of 9,572 rand and 75 cents. So will they have enough money? Yes, therefore, yes, they will have enough money to purchase the truck. Okay? If they would have a shortfall of that amount, then of course they would not have enough money. Okay, or it was an outstanding or a negative balance thing. Which means to say we will have a shortfall. Okay. Typically question 3.1, the diagram shows the graphs of f of x equals, isn't that right here? F of x equal to a over x minus p plus q, whilst g of x is equal to mx plus c. 0 and 6, which is also on the graph, is the intercepts of f for the y-axis and the graph intercept on the x-axis. So the graphs intersect at that point. Okay. So let's pull this down here. So all that information given there is on this diagram. Okay, so I'm just going to delete that. So that I can bring this up here. Okay, I'm doing this so that I can keep the diagram in focus. Okay. So the first question says, Jesus, this is fairly large. The first question says in 3.1.1, determine the value of A, P and Q. Determine the value of A, P and Q. Okay. So A, P and Q is linked to the f of x graph, which is the hyperbola graph. Not so. What do you notice here? You have a Q value. Q value of what? So y value equals 2. So your Q value is equal to 2. Okay. Your P value, of course, is to do with your vertical asymptote. Your vertical asymptote is x equal to 1, so your p value is going to be 1. So my equation now reads f of x equals a over x minus 1 plus 2. Now many of you wrote minus 1 here, but in your formula you corrected it as well. Okay? So you must watch out for that there. It depends how the formula is given. Sometimes it's given with a over x plus p, and sometimes it's given in this formula. So what do I do is, in pursuit of calculating the value of a, I substitute the pointers lying on this graph, which is 0 and 6. So that's the x and the y. So 6 is equal to a over 0 minus 1 plus 2. If I get over the equal sign, I get 4 is equal to minus a, so a is equal to minus 4. So what is your f of x graph? F of x is going to be minus 4 over x minus 1 plus 2. Okay? Let's look at the next question. As you can see, I need the space here, so I'm just going to erase as we move along. In 3.1.2, the question says the range of f. People, what is the range? All possible y values. So this graph goes to negative infinity and positive infinity. So then y is an element of all real numbers. But y is not equal to 2. That was your horizontal asymptote. Okay. The next question says the value of m and c if g is the line of symmetry of the graph. There's two lines of symmetry. Not so. You have the one with the positive gradient, y is equal to minus x plus c, and y is equal to positive x plus c. Okay. Which one is this one? For the negative gradient, y is equal to minus x plus c. So if you look at the g of x graph, I need a point that lies on this graph. Do we have such a point? Yes. But we need to calculate it however, okay? We need to work out that point, which is also your x intercept there. Can you see that, people? Your x intercept. How do you calculate the x intercept? X intercept, we let y equal to 0. But this is of the graph of f of x. You can't go with g of x because we don't know the graph of g of x at this point. Can you see that? So we say 0 is equal to minus 4 over x minus 1 plus 2. If they get over the equal sign, it becomes 4 over x minus 1 is equal to 2 over 1. We cross multiply. So if 4 is equal to 2x minus 2. So 6 is equal to 2x. Divided by 2, so x equal to 3. Can you see that? So what we do? Now we substitute that point, which is 0 and 3, into that equation that we have there. Okay? That is 0 is equal to minus 3 plus c, so c works out to be 3. Therefore y is equal to minus x plus 3. Okay? Okay. Let's carry on. Let's see what else is in store for this diagram. It's quite, there's quite a bit of questions left on this diagram. So the question says, in 3.1.4, it's a bit smaller. The question says, determine the value of the values of x for which f of x is equal to g of x. We know of the one point already, which is this point, 3 and 0. Okay? So we still need to work out that other point. Alright? So how do we work out the points of intersection? We say the two graphs are equal to each other, equal 1.4. So it's going to be minus 4 over x minus 1 plus 2 is equal to minus x plus 3. Take 2 over the equal signs, minus 4 over x minus 1 is equal to minus x plus 1. We cross multiply, so it's negative 4 is equal to negative x squared. That's going to give you x plus x is positive, is negative 2x. Okay, minus 1. No problem. Minus x minus 1, x minus 1. So minus x squared minus plus 2x minus 1. Yeah, there you have my mistake. Okay. So that gives us 0 is equal to, take everything to the left hand side, it's x squared minus 2x minus 3. So it's a trinomial, so it's x and x, 3 and 1, minus plus. So x is equal to 3 or x is equal to negative 1. Which now confirms again this point here. Can you see that? So what do I do to calculate the corresponding y value? We substitute that either into the straight line or into the parabola. Okay. So we now say g of x is g of negative 1 is equal to negative 1 plus 3, which is 4. So it's negative 1 and 4, as well as 3 and 0. But this 3 and 0 point we already know from that graph. Do we have to state both? No. Yes, we have to. Again, coming back to the question that says calculate the value of the values of x. I worked out all the way the coordinates. So that's where you need to stop. If you're going to go all the way, you'll only get extra marks. Okay? So I just went a bit too far. So this is going to be your minus 1. Okay? You all okay with that? Right? The next question says, for which values of x will f of x be greater than or equal to 6? So we know this is a y value. So what I do is I draw the line y is equal to 6 first. This is the line y is equal to 6. It says greater than. So it must be above the line, not so. So if you look at where is f of x above the line, it's from that point of 0 till this point of whatever this is, which is 1. Can you see that, people? So from 0 to 1, f of x is greater than 6. Can you see that, people? So in other words, x must be greater than 0 but less than 6. You see as an equal sign there as well. Is it equal to 6 at 0? Yes. Is it equal to 6 at 0? Yes. Is it equal to 6 at 1? Sorry, I wrote the 6 here. Is it equal to 0 at 1? No. Why? Because there is an asymptote there. So I don't put an equal sign below that inequality. Okay. The next one says give the equation of h, the reflection of f in the x-axis. So if something is reflected in the x-axis, what happens? Y becomes negative then. Okay? So it's the f of x graph, that is your f of x graph. Okay? So in question 3.1.6, the y x-axis, the y becomes negative. It's of the f graph, as you can see here. So it's negative y is equal to negative 4 over x minus 1 plus 2. Divide throughout by negative, so y is equal to 4 over x minus 1 minus 2. And that is the equation of h of x. Okay? People, there's nothing out of the ordinary as yet, as you can see. Okay? Table 3.2, the question says, in the diagram, the graph of f of x equal to negative open brackets x minus p squared plus q, and g of x equal to negative 5x plus 2nt. So the equation of the g of x graph is given there. So I'm just going to write this down here. It's going to be f of x equals negative, open brackets, x minus p squared plus q, whilst g of x is equal to negative 5x plus 20. Okay. Then we are told that PQ is a vertical line with P on G and Q on F. The point T, which is negative 2 and 16, is the turning point of the graph of F here. Okay. So so let's look at the first question. The first question says, show that the equation of f is negative x squared minus 4x plus 12. But if we're looking at f of x, as you can see here, the turning point is given here. The turning point form is given. Can you see that? So we know that this is going to be your p, and that's your q value. So f of x is now number 1 for this question, is equal to negative, open brackets, x minus 2 squared plus 16. So you multiply that out, I get negative x squared minus 4x minus 4 plus 16. Gives you negative x squared minus 4x plus 12, which just confirms that is the equation. Okay. You can't, in a show that will prove that question, you can't use that in your solution. You must end off with what is given there. The next question, in 3.2.2, the question says, write down a formula in terms of x for the length of PQ. For the length of PQ. Okay. So they basically want an algebraic, so I'm going to just replace this here with our findings, which is negative x squared minus 4x plus 2. Alright, so number 2, for us to write an algebraic expression for that line PQ, there's always the top graph minus the bottom graph. So it's the g of x graph, which is negative 5x plus 20, minus the f of x graph, which is negative x squared minus 4x plus 20. Okay. Minus negative x squared minus 4x plus 20. So that gives us negative 5x plus 20 plus x squared plus 4x minus 20. That gives me x squared minus x, and that cancels. Okay, is that correct? I made a mistake. I think I made a mistake. Wait, why am I getting 20? It's actually 12. No? Plus 12. So that's going to give us x squared. That's going to give you positive 4x, so it's minus x. 20 minus 12 is 8. Is that correct? Yes. And I know that didn't feel right. So that's that. Okay. Here in question 3 it says determine the minimum value of PQ. So the minimum value, of course, you're going to complete the square. Okay? So you're going to complete the square on that expression there. Otherwise you could have worked out the turning point as well. Okay? But completing the square is going to be a better bet here. So PQ, as you can see here, we'll add a number minus the same number plus 8. So what's the number in this case? It's going to be b times a half, which is 1 times a half, which is a half. Squared is going to be a quarter. So there's your perfect square trinomial. It's x minus a half squared minus a quarter plus 8 is plus 7 3/4. Okay. The question says determine the minimum length of PQ. So the minimum length, therefore the minimum length of PQ is 7 and 3/4. Okay. Otherwise it's going to be 7,75. Or you can write it in this improper fraction format as well. Okay. Question 4, our favorite question here on the paper. A bridge has been built across a road. Its central support is an arc in the shape of a parabola. So if it sits in the shape of a parabola, all the information you know about parabola is going to come into play. Okay. The width TR of the road is 8 meters. So that is going to be 8 meters here. Okay. And the maximum height above the road, the maximum height here. So from there to there, it's going to be 4 meters. So this turning point here, or that point, is going to be 4 and 4. Why? Because that's the midpoint between them. Okay. We'll carry on with this in our next lesson. Alright, good afternoon, class.
Afternoon, sir.